You see Lightning Storm, super heavy armor, but he goes for advanced powertrain. Meanwhile, this shield is about... Well, hang on, where did that shield go? Where did the shield go? Oh, that was Cody's shield. He threw it on those crawlers. For some reason, I thought this Wraith had received a shield. That would have been entirely useless. I think the Chinese player is very much so unsure how to deal with this. He has a bunch of worms that I think are still valid. He has no anti-air on these worms. Otherwise, I would probably be considering that, to be honest. And now we see Wraiths for Cody. Wraiths with heal, undoubtedly to tank as many fortress missiles as possible. If you get enough fortresses out, they will deal, even with level 6 wasps. But at this point, each of these wasps has to be hit by 3 missiles. And if it hits shields, that's going to double, regardless of anything else. The sides here, as I was talking about, have kind of reversed. Right now, Cody is the one pushing, and the Chinese player is the one defending, at least on this side. We are seeing some good amount of damage on this Wraith. And the Wasps were late because out of fear of the Lightning Storm, I think. They were mobile beaconed back. Damage is coming in here though. But is it gonna be enough? The answer is no. The carry Wasps are just too tanky, too redundant. In the sense that even if half of these Wasps die, the other Wasps can still take out everything on the board. And they're only going to get stronger from here. Super heavy armor and sledge production. Super heavy armor on this Wraith, that makes sense. I honestly would have considered buying a level 2 Wraith for that. We see temp range for Cody and temp speed as well. These crawlers, I think he was talking about it as well. He kind of just threw the shield there. Honestly, I would have probably considered these Wasps as a prime candidate. Save the 900 and get basically half of this value here. And even if you later on do decide to hit this energy shield button, it's still going to be extra health on top on your carry unit. Now, this time Cody is the one with oil. The Chinese player has not yet unlocked tower oil. Also, these Mustangs could probably do with anti-air tech. At this point, there's enough stuff on the board to make it worth. These crawlers are actually surprisingly annoying with the energy shield. We're seeing this Wraith and this Wraith taking damage, but only slowly. Of course, the fortresses are also going to scale up to the moon and beyond because of the extra XP that these Wasps provide. But at the end of the day, elite Wasps are going to outscale even the highest fortress health that cannot increase its anti-air damage. And it looks like this time Cody is going to take more than just a chip of the health of the Chinese player. This is a good amount of damage. Another round like that, and he may very well finish it. More unit reinforcements. War Factory and Farseer. Well, the War Factory here. And EMP Farseers. That does also make sense to deal with the Wraiths. I guess at the end of the day, the Chinese player might have had the correct idea. Counter the Wasps with the fortresses and have the fortresses scale really hard, but at the same time, the Wasps will outscale them. Up to a certain point. Right now they are at level 9, they will not go any higher. That is also something to be considering. These fortresses can still go a long way up. But these are about as powerful as carry Wasps can be. Maybe just throw the shield on it. I guess if you have a shield item maybe and throw ground specialization on them, that would be even more powerful. We see some Wraiths here which are going to have an extremely bad time into these Wraiths. Look at this Wraith just disappearing. It's level 5 and has got nothing done for the last, like, 5 rounds of this game, of this match. The War Factory is intercepting a lot of missiles, but against Farseers, even War Factories aren't doing all that hot. The Wraiths on the outside are getting disabled and taken down. But is it going to be enough for the Chinese player? Well, finally we see Mustangs shooting these Wasps. It's not a lot of damage on these high-level Wasps, but every bit counts. And every bit is insane amounts of experience on these Mustangs. These can get to level 3 next round. Right now the Wasps outrange everything, and they don't have anti-air specialization. So at the end of the day, these Mustangs have the ability to outrange and outdamage the Wasps. Another portable shield, but both players pick the enhanced module. Cody is down a very significant amount of money. That is a very, very significant amount of money. Oil is back off cooldown for the Chinese player. And Cody already has the fire to ignite it. No need to get it yourself. Finally, we see anti-air on the Stanks, as we see triple war factory for Cody. He really wants to finish this match, and quickly. I think we also see a bunch of extra waves. No, those were added on the last round already. For unknown reasons, we are seeing an explosive rhino here. Well, the other side has already been sold. He really should sell these flanks. This is interesting. This is going to be super annoying to clean up. Well, no, I didn't see these units. They are going to deal with it just fine. And we also see Phoenixes with range here. That is a very good way to deal with both the Wraiths and the Wasps and the War Factories. The reason being, and I can only say this again and again, because I think it needs to be said again and again, you never have a load of carry Wasps. You only ever have a small amount. And if you have a small amount of carry Wasps, all of a sudden, shooting them down with a lot of Phoenixes and Marksmen and getting levels is actually starting to look like a good idea. In this round, we see the War Factories up against a very, very high-level fortress that is probably going to kill this factory, I imagine. Maybe? Yes. Now, even if that factory had survived, it would not have been the end yet, but this round has to be it for Cody. If this round isn't it, he's going to be down so much money that his opponent basically can do whatever he pleases. We have fire here. We don't have oil. We are definitely going to hit all these buttons. The opponent also has incendiary bomb here picked. And we add on a 4th war factory and degen beam for the Wraiths. We also see elite for the Phoenixes of the Chinese player. These steel balls, I'm not sure if they actually serve any purpose beyond tanking. And they're not going to tank a lot. And we are seeing these trawlers being mobile beaconed away from the explosive rhino. I guess that works. Incendiary is huge. These Mustangs are stuck in fire as soon as they move up a little bit. The war factories are pushing in and the fortresses are hammering. But these are not elite fortresses and their missiles are being reliably intercepted. It looks like it's falling apart. Yes, it is. The Wasps are capable of outranging the war factories, staying safe behind them. And Cody wipes out the opponent's army. Well, if that ain't a 12th round banger with level 9 and level 7 carry Wasps and quad war factory. Alright, I've already watched this game. I hope I was making it interesting for everybody, casting it as if I hadn't watched it already. Let's turn this one around because I know it is possible. It is actually not even that difficult. So we take the assault fortress. And we take launcher. And I have to sneeze. Alright. And then what we do is, of course, we hit all of these buttons. We sell, and we sell this absolutely useless Wraith that has outlived its purpose several times over at this point, I would assume. And what we then do is, we definitely shield up. And I would probably put a shield like here to shield all of these Mustangs. We also level all of these Mustangs. These I think are somewhat fine, but for good measure, let's throw a shield here. Don't want to be too predictive. And then we hit elite and we recruit a bunch of fortresses. Unfortunately, we cannot recruit another fortress. Oh yeah, what we did, I already talked this over with Cody basically. We were kinda seeing what we could do. We were just trying to snipe this war factory with the fortresses. Which also probably means we should be throwing a missile like here in case something drops here. I don't want to predict too harshly. And finally, what shall we do with the rest of the money? I suppose we could get range on the Farseers, or maybe range on the entire army. At this point, probably worth it. Alright, let's throw that down, and let's also make sure that this goes by much faster. And see if this is enough. This is not exactly what we've been doing, but hey. So we're going to be fighting with extra range. This factory is having an absolutely abysmal day. It is already taken out. And that means there's nothing protecting these level 7 carry wasps. These war factories are getting absolutely launcher overloaded into nothingness. This war factory is as of yet untouched, but the entire rest of the battlefield has fallen apart. Tower got sniped, and that means this army is getting nothing done at all. And at the end of the day, this would have been a very much so valid way to deal with everything. EMP is going to hit this sooner or later. Actually, no. EMP is not going to hit it at all because it dies first, and this would have been well more than enough damage to take Cody out. Turns out when you have this many fortresses, you can actually just hit launcher overload the 4th tech, and with some extra shields you can protect these rear-line Mustangs from fire. And you have the Farseers for some extra range to outrange everything, which is going to help these Mustangs even more, and these fortresses even more. Though it is, like, this would be probably more relevant if the war factories had gotten extra range as well. You kind of don't want your fortresses moving in and getting shelled by the war factories. You want it to be the other way around. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this match. It is rare that I see these level 9 and level 7 carry wasps, so I thank Codyfly for his set of free replays. If you haven't watched the other ones, you absolutely should, and I promise it's not all wins. So, yeah. Once again, kudos to Codyfly for actually sending in not all wins. I wish a lot of YouTubers that were streaming and, of course, uploading Mechabellum would be doing the same. Because it's kind of not as much fun if you know that the guy is eventually going to just turn it around and win. Anyway, once again, thanks for watching and listening. Until next time.